Hello puppy lovers, today I have little Bella with me, and so yeah, and she started having seizures, so I hope she's going to be okay today. So enjoy.
For those who don't know me, I'm Elizabeth Jenn, professional dog groomer since 2010.
So whenever you're shaving the back, on the dog's back, you got to be sure if you're feeling any bumps back there. That's her spine, their spine. So what you want to do is, if you're doing this lightly, you're not pressing into the skin. Another way I like to do it is to pull on the skin one side, shave that, and pull on the other side like that, and shave it like that. So you get all of the hair on the top without, bumping onto the skin. So when they're a little skinny, that can happen. She's not too skinny, she's pretty good, but I can still feel her little bumps here. Here, I always like to go in reverse, and I'll show you why. Because when you're going straight down, you got a lot of bone in there, okay? You gotta go really lightly, there's a lot of bones there. And I find, see there's no more hair really coming off. I find it coming in this way. You always have some hair stuck in there. There's like a little tendon. And I always like to go in the opposite direction. And I'll also do the rest here. Why not? Come in front, like that, and bring it all the way to the top. Careful for that flap. The skin here, flap of skin. You don't want to get your blade between, you don't want to get that skin between your blade. So if you're wondering why sometimes dogs have their little tongue sticking out like this, see your little tongue? It's not because they're trying to be cute. We tend to find that cute when they do that. Huh? You guys look silly with your tongue like that. But the reason why is because she's got some missing teeth. And the teeth will keep her tongue in place. And as soon as you take those teeth out, then the little tongue pops out like that. So Bella gets a shave in her face here. So I'm going to show you how I shave her face. You lift her leg, lift her ear here. You need to always be careful around the mouth, because Bella is a little older, and the reason why she doesn't have any teeth, she's got teeth missing, is because she's losing her teeth. He was saying she's 11 going on 12. And yeah, her teeth are kind of rotting in there, so they tend to do this, these little poodles, to lose their teeth. So yeah, so as the teeth start falling out and they start going bad, well, then it's a little tender around the mouth. So you really got to be careful, hold her underneath and on the top like this, lightly. She doesn't fight me, she's a good dog. She's always been a really good dog. She's a little grumpy sometimes. She's just getting older. So this is how I do it. Right in front of the ear here, where the ear canal, the whole hole here, I just come in a straight line, lightly. I'm not even pressing on the skin. Then I'm going to go where the corner of her eye is. Corner of her eye. And this is a 7 blade here that I'm using. You got to be careful. You can do this with a 10 blade. It would be a little safer maybe for those who aren't used to it, but I'm fine with the 7. You're going to pull her skin back And I'm going to go underneath where that lip is, just underneath the lip, her bottom lip. See the top here, top of the blade. Pull her skin. You always need to have nice skin, nice and taut. So you got the top of the blade is underneath the lip. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come in and clean under her eye area. Keep pulling. And I'm going to go downwards, okay? I don't want to catch her tongue. I don't want to catch her lip. Because that lip could easily go right in between, right there, okay? So I'm just going to do a little. By the way, right now, she's dirty. I have not put her in the bath yet. So I take all of her hair off first, and then she goes in the bath. So let's do this side here. Front of the ear. Okay, right in front of the ear, we're going to make a straight line to the eye. Because this is going to be her top knot here. Where's your eye, hon? Right. Straight line. Again, I'm going to pull on that lip. The top part, I go downwards. Down. I don't want to catch anything. Okay, we're going down. Okay, and then for the bottom lip, same thing, but the top part here needs to be way underneath that bottom lip. Okay? So if she wasn't shaved everywhere, I would create a type of V here, a V in here with the shaved face. You can do a closer shave with a 10 blade. You can do that. So I'm going to come in the corners of her eyes here with the 10 actually. Okay? And just clean that up. So same thing. If you're coming in with a 10 blade, you're going to go in the back here and do the same thing. Down. I have to be careful. She has a tooth there in her tongue. Down. And then the same thing underneath. You want the top part here has to be right underneath that lip. You don't want to go on top of the lips. Okay? Do the same thing on the other side just to make it equal. Pulling on that skin underneath that lip. Little chin here. Alright. I'm going to do the corners of her eyes. You grab the corner here. I like to grab the outer corner. Just pull that in front like that. Come right in front of her nose. She's not licking. Anyway, I'm going to come right back in and just scooping that out, okay? Using this corner. The inside corner, inside corner. Well, outer corner, actually. Outer corner of your clipper. So we got her face done. We'll do her legs, and we're going to go in the bath. So the way I rinse out Bella's head, she's got such a tiny head. I don't want water in her ears. She's full of soap right now. I'm going to use this dry cloth here. I'm going to wipe all that soap off. Wipe it all off. Because I want to get all that water off. Okay? Then I'm going to hold her ears down. If I had water and soap in there and I'd try to hold her ears down, I would actually be pushing water into her ears. Okay? And it would go down her ear canal. So her ears dry, towel dry. I'm going to hold her ears down. And I'm going to just rinse up the top of her head right before her eyes, okay? And I'll do the same thing. I'll just wipe that off because I don't want any problems with her ears. I'm going to flip the ear one side, close that little opening here and do the side of her face. Close this side, this little opening here, same thing, side of her face. You got to get underneath the ears, the ear flap also, so you get a little of that done, okay? I'll wipe her up again. And now I'm going to do the muzzle. I'm not holding tight. Look how loose that is. Look how loose that is. I'm just guiding her nose down. And the reason why I'm holding like this is I don't want to get any water in her nose. But she managed to pull my hand away. Yeah, so we'll wipe up your face again, honey. Softly with your mouth because she has teeth problems here. We'll do another round. Want to try another round of your ears here? Wipe that up. Come in. Hold both ears down. There you go. Now we got a good rinse. Alright guys, so little Bella had her bath and now I'm going to dry her, and I'm going to dry her with a different dryer. I just got this dryer. It is so quiet. I find it's quieter than just a normal hair dryer for like human hair dryer. It's quieter than my other one. You've seen me use this probably. It's quieter than this one. So the reason why I got this dryer is because there are different attachments also. Because doing small dogs with the high velocity dryer is stronger. It's fine. You can use that. I've been using it on her for ever since she's been coming to see me. And I use that for all the dogs. But today I'm going to be using the smaller one because I want to try it out. She's shaved and it should dry pretty fast because it's got a good push. But the high velocity dryer is just louder. And I wanted to try to find something that was less loud, and finally I found something, especially for these little ones. And they're more afraid when you come in the face with that loud dryer. And when you're drying with a high velocity dryer, of course you have to hold your dryer really far to try to just get some of that air flowing around their ears and get that nice and dry. But anyhow, I'm going to be trying this one. You'll see how it's not very loud. Yeah, let's go. Let's give it a try and see how she likes it. How she likes it. What dog likes being dried, right? There are other attachments, of course. There's this one is the concentrated. I'm going to try this one. And you've got the more open here. You have this one here, and that's for faces. Her face is a little small for this one. I'd probably just go in with like a cotton detail or something like that, a bigger dog, a Shih Tzu, stuff like that. But yeah, so let's try this dryer out and see how it goes. It's got a few settings. You got warm air and cooler air, and also you have three strengths. You got low, medium, and high. And it's the iFurphy. By the way, no one's paying me for this. This is just something I got off Amazon that I found pretty cool. So here we go. See? All it is. So it's on the low setting, medium, high. We'll do the low setting. Start with the low setting. Actually, I'm going to try what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop it. What I'm going to do, it stops immediately. I'm going to use this one here for her body, and I'll probably use this for her face. Let's see how that goes. Just click it in. Click. Is that clicked? Yeah, it should be. No. Hang on. There, click. And hear the click. Alright, let's try this, and I'm going to put it on higher. On the higher. Wow, love it. So I put it on the highest. So if I was to do a cotton distillate, I would still use my high velocity But for smaller jobs like this, especially she's an older dog, I'm just so happy that I found this dryer. All right, dryer. Bella doesn't like her feet groomed, dried. So what I do is I try to keep her close to me. She kind of fights it. I hold her paw like that. Hold her close to me. Like that. I hope you're hearing me talk over this. Not loud, but where the airflow is, of course, you can hear it. All right, so now I'm going to change nozzles. Try to do her face on the top of her head with this. Let's see, she's still, they still fight. They still will try to pull away. I'm not saying it's magic and they're going to just sit there, but they still will pull away a bit. So we do our best, as long as we can keep them as comfortable as we can. I'm going to lower setting here and try to do her ears on the top of her head. Let's do this. Of course, you're going to want to brush it out. When you brush out your dog while the dog is wet, you're separating the hairs. And that really helps you with the drying. So I'm just going to brush her ears out a bit. Oh, she doesn't want. See, Bella never used to try to snap at me before. And as I was saying a while ago, she's a little more, she's older now and she's less tolerant, I guess. Like, just leave me alone, lady. I don't feel like this. Dealing with you every 6 to 8 weeks for so many years now. So what is it that you don't want, Bella? You have to cut some of those knots out. So that's what I'll probably do. I just don't want her to be in a bad mood. So I don't want to put her in any distress, okay? She's an older dog. I would not want, you never know what can happen, right? It's an older dog, so could she have a heart attack? Because she's scared, because she doesn't want, because she's fighting. If she was a puppy, I try to get her used to it a little more. She knows what grooming is. She's seen me so long, but she's not having it right now. I don't want to push it. It's still summer, it's still warm out there. What I'll do is I'll just keep brushing out her ears from time to time while I'm grooming the rest. I'm going to cut out those little knots instead of brushing them. And we're going to let this just dry. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to get the job done the best you can and the safest way you can for your dog. So that's what we're doing with Bella today. We'll let her dry out a little more. But I love that dryer. That dryer seriously is a game changer for faces, especially for faces. So I use the force dryer for the bodies, and then I will use that other new dryer. This other one that I have, the one with the teeth, the brush on it, the attachment. Usually I like to go in. I could try with her. We could try it. Let's try it. Let's see what she says. See what she says. Okay. Usually I really love this one for fluffing out the fluffy ears. Put it on the low setting, see what she says. Okay? When you do this, you brush a little lightly. Of course, the better you draw your dog, the better your cut will be. But if the dog is in distress, don't push it. You shouldn't push it. The dog is in distress. This is not, we're not using, I'm not a competitive groomer, right? So there's no show dogs here. And if I had a show dog, it's because it's a dog that is very good on the table and really doesn't mind, and it was trained for that. And, you know, I'm guessing that if you have for some dogs, you can't train them, they just won't. So I'm guessing that they will choose the dog by its character, and of course if it's a show dog, it's got to have all of the right measurements and whatnot. I'm not too sure about how that works for show dogs, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna choose a dog already as a puppy that is very easy to work with. If the dog is not easy to work with and it's got a character, I'm not too sure they'll use that dog for training. But anyhow, so Bella's not a show dog, and I just do the best I can with her, especially that she's older, and I just don't want her to be uncomfortable with me. See? She's more acceptant of this one right now, from one dog to another. That's why it's good to have a few tools, guys, a few different tools. See what works. She's not minding this. Fluff this out. Takes a little longer, but you know, patience goes a long way. As for her face here, it's really short. That's drying out as we're speaking, as we're talking, as I'm talking. See, Bella, you're okay with this one? Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna write that down on her file. But for her ears, she prefers this than my knee dryer. Moving on, guys. So Bella doesn't really, lately she's a little complicated at the feet. Sometimes she'll let me know she just doesn't want me to be touching her there, so I don't know if she has any pains, whatnot. But Dad didn't mention any pains, so she just doesn't want me to hold her much. She's a lot more patient with me. She's not bad, she just doesn't feel like it. You get all of those toes done, you make sure you get all around. You see all of those little pads here, see? Here. There's a pad not showing there. A toe pad. Be patient, Bella. There it is. You see them all. Just Get rid of all those, like that. Move it on. And I just noticed she has these little welts here, these little patches. She's got 2. I'm wondering if they were bug bites or something. 1, 2, yeah, they're bumps. You have to show your dad. You got a little one there too. Did you get bit by a bug? So, yeah, she doesn't want me to do her nails. As I said before, this was all easy peasy for me before. So she doesn't want me to hold her from behind the leg. I'm going to try from the front. Okay, 2. If it doesn't work one way, you got to try another way. You got to try to calm them down. Sit down to your little tongue sticking out. All right, Bella. Taking a little bit off. Yes, taking a little bit off here. There you go. Well done. Well done. You're lucky you don't have any thumbs, huh? No thumbs. All right, so we're going to continue. See, when I do her leg and I'm going upwards, I don't want her kicking around, so I'm going to hold back here with my thumb, and these 2 fingers here, I'm going to lock that knee. So that knee, I'm holding. That knee is locked. She can't bend, or she might have to bend lightly, but in general, no. So I can come around, if her leg is locked, and I can come around all around here. Okay, there. I'm going to try the other side. Come down, all on the sides here. And then I want to lock that knee, just holding it. It's in the palm, the knee is in the palm of my hand, holding her leg. Just hold that leg straight as best you can. Some dogs will try to fight you on this. She's doing pretty good right now, so come on the inside the best I can, and very lightly here. You don't want to get that tendon between your, you know, that blade catching that tendon. Never pressing on the skin, we're just floating on top of that skin. She's so tiny. You can't get anywhere at specific areas with your clipper, no worries. Just go in with your scissors, you'll be fine. Lift that leg a bit, coming in the opposite direction. Same thing here. I'm going to stop right before getting her little private part there, because I'll go and do that with the, like I gotta do scissors, or I can show you also how to do it with a 10 blade. I'm just going to come down, and I'll show that in a minute. The best way to get your dog to sit down is not by pressing their back. Stop this a minute. Not by pressing their back. Hang on, we'll show you. Can you show? Can you do it for me? The best way to get your dog to sit is to put your hand behind their bum. It can be a Shih Tzu, a bigger dog, or not. And when you put your hand behind the bum, I've got my elbow down here, and I'm pushing against the knees, behind her knee here, and then I'll push her back. I'm going to push her that way. So I'm going to do that. Not at her neck, at her chest. See how we did that? You want to do it again one more time for me? You show me, holding the bum. I got my hand on her chest, not at her throat, on her chest, and I'm pushing against her knees, and I'm going to do that and pull her towards me. Bump, bump, bump. It's the best way to get him to sit, okay? He'll try to stand again. Of course, she will try to stand again. I also wanted to mention for the neck, to come in nice and lightly. Whenever whenever you're using your blade, always come in lightly. The neck here, especially for poodles, their trachea is very sensitive. They can cough at anything. I don't know why, it's just the way they are. But they're very sensitive there. I just wanted to mention that. Another thing I wanted to mention here is when you get to the legs, front legs, they're very bony, legs. You're coming in the opposite direction on one side, opposite direction on the other side. You come back down just a little bit. She doesn't like this. There's a toe back here. You know, they have their pads, the foot. Back here, there's another little toe here. So when you're using the clippers, you stop at that toe slowly. Don't come in too fast. And then go above it and behind. Okay? Just don't forget that that's there. So if you can't get the whole shave, like she's kind of fighting me. She doesn't really want this, so instead of fighting it, we're just going to finish it off with the scissors. Check this off, put the 30 blade back on. So this little lady gets a 13 millimeter on her head, and I scissor the rest. So hang on. This is 13 here. Before going through her hair with the 13 millimeter, I'm going to be sure she has no knots first. She's all good. Okay, pull her forward. I'll mask on a bit. Come in. And I'm going to pull this back, that skin back, come in like that. Again, I'm not. You might do it differently if you're a groomer. You might be doing this differently. This is how I do it. I am just a pet groomer. I am a groomer. And yeah, so let's comb out her ears and see where those knots are. She had a few knots. I'm going to pull out my trusty thinners here. And these thinners are, I think they're 32 thinners. Just come in and take some of that out like that. Last thing I want is for her to be mad at me. There's a big knot here, so I'm just going to come in between my fingers. So it's holding it like that. And I'll cut right here. No more knots back here, honey. All done. There. Can we do the other side? Make sure to check on the inside too here. Okay, we're good. We'll do the other side, hon. There. I think you're good on this side. Oops. Something there. Get rid of that. See, I'm really making sure to hold that ear leather so that I don't cut the ear leather instead. There, her ears are fine. There, all right. It's all flat. We're gonna round that out afterwards once I get to the scissors. And that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna do her body. Let's come in and
I'm just going to snip around wherever there are sticky outies. So as I mentioned, I'm going to show you how to clean up this area here. I did a lady part with a 10 blade. So we're going to come in with a 10 blade and we're going to go from here to towards and just scoop that out. Same thing on this side, you can lift the leg and just scoop it out, okay? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I'm just going to use my scissors for the rest here. And I'm going to hold the lady part here, and then I'm going to come cut right in front of my finger where there's no more skin. I've got some here. I'm always holding to be sure. Back up to be sure that I'm not cutting her skin. Usually I'd come in here with my smaller scissors, but I need to get myself another pair on the weekend because they just stopped cutting. Don't you just love it when that happens? Stopped cutting. No more cutting. I create a little sausage tail here. I call it a sausage tail. Push it all out. A lot of hairs here. Nice flat square here. We're going to create a box. Nice box. Pull everything to one side. I got my finger here underneath, my fingers here. So I'm going to touch my fingers before touching her tail, okay? So I'm just measuring here, going straight in a straight line. If I'm going to catch something, it'll be my fingers and not her tail. Same thing on this side. Pull everything out. My fingers are right past her tail, just to be sure. There, see my fingers are right there. Her tail is further down. Then I'll round out the corners. We're going to do the same thing on the top here. Hold your tail out straight. And I can see where I shaved here. And I'm just going to hold it out nice and straight. Come on, nice and straight like that. Do the same thing. Bottom. Pull it out. Nice and straight up. I can see right through her tail here. Then I'm going to take the tail and I'm just going to fix anything that looks square, sharp. Just try to round everything out. Go from the box to rounding out those corners. See? Like that. Turn, hon. Nice little sausage tail. Just round everything out. Whatever looks square, round it out. That seems pretty cool. And anyway, she'll end up curling. She'll be all curly maybe within a day. All right, over here. This is really bothering me here. I don't know what that's about. Just gonna get rid of some of that here. And that's what this part's about. It's just about the sticky outies, right? All right, honey. I'm gonna sit you down. We're gonna do your face. So I'm gonna show you how I do her face. Pull everything forward. You come in with my 30 tooth, more aggressive, and I'm just going to cut everything that's off the front. Again, can't mention this enough. I am not a competitive groomer. Guys, if you're interested in more videos like this, by the way, Mondays through Fridays I have these types of videos. I think I might be doing a different type also, but anyhow, for now, as of right now, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm uploading Monday through Friday. I'm uploading videos, and on Wednesdays I am live. I'm live at 10 a.m. every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time here in Canada. Here I'm cleaning out all of that junk behind her ear. And yeah, I upload Mondays through Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So now that I just blended, that's all I did. I blended this whole side here from right in front of her ear, straight up. Just straight up. Just blend that in. Blending just means going from short to longer. We don't want to see the transition. Okay? So you got to use your smarts too, eh? You got to just come in and make it equal. So I did the back end. What I'm going to do now, hold her ear down, turn her, and I'm going to get rid of just this top part here, because we're going to create a straight line like that. Let's get rid of all of this here. All of that that's hanging up over her ear, so that I can see the back of her, the back of her ear like that. Okay? So it's a straight line, guys. It's just a straight line crossing. Okay? Later I'm going to come in and round that out. We're going to do it now. Just going to round that out. Alright. Second side. Same thing. Grab her ear, bring it back, pull it down, and I'm just going to blend from short to long by going straight. Just flat, straight. Like we're creating a mohawk or something. Okay? We're going to do the same thing here. Pull all of that up. All of the sticky outies, we're going to get rid of those. And keep your tips, when you keep your tips closed tighter, there's less chance of grabbing anything else. Just being a little safer that way. And come behind the ear, same thing, all of these sticky outies. And it's safe to be cutting in an angle and not too flat, because you could catch skin. So if you're bringing it out, just twist your hand a little, bringing it out in an angle, your chances are less, got less chances of catching that skin. So we're just going to be sure that it's nice and straight from the front here all on top of that ear, like that. See? Like that. All right, let's pull it off front again, and we're going to take more off in the front. And we're going to just make it round. So we're going to go around the eye, being careful, keeping that tip nice and closed. Don't be chomping like that. There's no need to. I'm just rounding that out around her eyes. And now I'm going to fluff everything up. And I'm just going to, you could use these also. I just like to use, I really like to use my thinners. It's really soft. All I'm doing is just coming around. I'm showing you how I can use my curves too. You use what's best for how you feel comfortable. Again, we're just making our pups nice and clean, and I'll come back in a second. So I'm going to pull all of this in front here. She's got all of this hair here. I call it a beak. And I'm just going to get rid of all of that. It's like between her eyes. Just pinching with my tips here. See if I had I have these, but they don't cut very well. Okay. Try to get corners of the eyes. A little bit of the front of the eyes. I'm going to try to go in with my 10 blade again. And I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to try to clean out her face a little more. Okay? Just a little more. Take this off. Oh, Bella, we're almost done. I know, you're a good model. I'm going to use my corners. As mentioned, I use the outer corner. Just try to get all of that out. Careful, they have their little eyes here. So you can pull this back. She's pretty short enough. Just cleaning it up a bit. Okay. Remember that lip here? Pulling back. You want to be on the side here. Pull back that lip nice and tight. You want to be underneath the lip. You don't want to be on the lip. Same thing this side. Got to be careful. She's got that little tongue there. You could pop it out anytime. Be very aware of what you're doing. Sides, we're always going down. You can always come in with your scissors. What I would do is just bring in the scissor, place it, wait, and then, you know, just wait to see how they're reacting. Oh, her mouth hurts. I don't want to bug her too much. So bring in the scissor, hold, wait to see if she's going to stick her tongue out. Okay. All right, put this back on. We're going to do our ears. I just got to round this out a little better. When you're looking at the top here, to bring her head down, you just want to, you got to be creative. You got to go in with your eyes. You got to look. I know I'm helping you guys with tricks, tips and tricks, but it's only practice. And it's only practice that's going to get you there, right? And you got to be able to see where your curves are, and it's only you that can see that. See here, I'm not round enough here. Hold her down. I'm just looking at this circle here. Not round enough, and just a little bit goes a long way. See, I only took a little off. Just a little bit goes a long way. See how much rounder that is? All right, so now we're gonna do her little ears. This is how I do the ears. I just pull her ear right down. Hold that flat. Hold that leather. Uh-oh, now she sees stuff. Of course she sees stuff. And I'm just going to cut that like that. All right, so I got my length, and I'm just gonna make a nice round. I like that the ear comes close to, like above here. One, and let's do the other one. And then we take a picture. Or take a picture.
Hey there, pet parents and grooming gurus. If you enjoyed my tail-wagging transformations and want more tips to keep your furry friends looking fabulous, just hit that subscribe button. Remember, every click helps spread the love and lathers of grooming joy. Subscribe now and let's embark on this fluffy journey together.